Okay, I have a question for you all. How many of you have heard of Dawson, Minnesota? Okay, just a few of you. Okay, that's what I thought. Well, Dawson, Minnesota is a small farm town in southwestern Minnesota, and it's actually where I grew up. And it's no surprise that this has no connection to you. You've never heard of it. It's a very small place. And maybe farm town, small town, Minnesota, the United States, maybe these are some words that give you an idea of what you think those people there are like. But what might not first come to mind is the wonderful community of people that nurtured and supported me and made me who I am today. But growing up in this small town, on a farm near this small town, I have a little picture here. That's me and my brother and our sheep. We also had horses. We grew corn, soybeans, and wheat. And it was a great place to grow up. But there wasn't a lot of opportunity to meet other people from different places in the world or experiencing different cultures different from farm culture. But I found that music was a way for me to reach out and connect with people I had never met before and cultures and places that I'd never experienced or been before. Music was always a really big part of my life. I was in dance and choir and orchestra and band, theater, music, everything, all throughout elementary, high school, and then in university when I decided to study vocal performance and pursue a career as a professional musician. And all throughout this time, I was able to sing and dance to music from all over the world. And somehow, through dancing and singing this music, these different languages, these different cultures, I felt that I was able to personally connect with these people that I had never met before, and certainly probably wouldn't meet before in these places I had never been. And this became particularly clear to me when I participated in an opera workshop. I studied opera in university in Lucca, Italy. And there I connected with a person who couldn't have been more different than me. I was a Minnesota farm girl, and this man was a Roman emperor who lived 2,000 years ago in Rome. And I was able to connect with him because I sang a role in an opera portraying him telling his story. And even though we lived such different lives, I was able to somehow understand him and the strange actions that he took and the beliefs that he believed. I somehow felt like I could understand why he made the decisions he made and why he behaved the way he did because I had this personal connection with him. And not only was I able to connect with this man who lived so long ago, but I was also able to connect with living and breathing human beings from all over the world. This was a group of our musicians. It was very international, but also intergenerational. We spoke many different languages, but music was our common language. Even though we didn't always understand each other speaking, we found a common understanding and really connected through the music that we were preparing together. And this, in a short amount of time, in a month that we were together, we were able to become a family, and this family is still in communication today. So all of these experiences and my time and music growing up really solidified for me that music is a way, it's a powerful tool that we can use to connect people from all over the world who might not ever have an opportunity to meet one another. And I think that music is a powerful tool that we can use to humanize people. So even these places like Dawson, Minnesota, which might to you just be a place on a map, or maybe a place that you hear about in the news but you don't know anyone from there, music is a way that we can humanize people instead of just having a label or a stereotype. We can humanize people and think of them as human beings just like you and me. So, on the night before graduation from college, I found out that I was awarded the Fulbright Scholarship and that I would spend a year here in Kraków, Poland, doing research in musicology. And to many of my friends and family back home, Kraków, Poland was definitely just one of those places on a map. And many people asked me, Poland? What's in Poland? And I said, what's not in Poland, right? Right? Okay, right? TED's in Poland, Krakow, right? Okay, so the mission of the Fulbright Scholarship is to increase mutual understanding between the United States and different countries. So I found this opportunity not only to be an ambassador from my small hometown farm culture to Poland, to Krakow, to the big city, but also to bring Poland and the wonderful things and the wonderful people that are here back to my hometown. So since I had such an amazing experience during this opera workshop in Italy, this intergenerational, international workshop, I wanted to create that opportunity for others. And so I developed the United International Choral Community. And through this project, I'm very delighted to tell you that I am leading a multicultural music workshop during the Jewish Culture Festival that will bring together students from Israel, the United States, and Poland together to sing and dance together and become an international music community. But as you may guess, purchasing flights, accommodation, and such things for a week together is quite expensive. And I'm still fundraising a little money, so there's information out there, and I can also talk to you about that. But I wanted to engage a larger group of people without a financial barrier. I wanted to connect people across borders through music with something that wouldn't cost so much money. And I think that now with the technology that we have, with Skype, with Facebook, with apps, we can really create this international exchange without bringing people together, and at the only cost of a little bit of time and effort. So what do we have when we have a large group of people singing and the internet? The obvious answer to me was a virtual choir. Now, this idea is not new. Those of you who are familiar with TED, and as Richard talked about, Eric Whitacre, a very famous American composer, has a few virtual choirs now, and I think his last one had 6,000 singers from 100 countries. Now, mine is not that big, but I do believe that this is an idea that's worth spreading, right, and repeating. So how does one make a virtual choir? Well, Dr. Mary Ellen Haupert of Viterbo University, my alma mater, composed an entirely new choral piece called Alleluia for us. And Matthew Curtis of Choral Tracks made a rehearsal track containing all 6 parts of the piece. And then we made a virtual conductor video. And if you could play it. Great. This is my voice teacher, Jean Saladino, also from Viterbo University, and we recorded this virtual conductor video to the rehearsal track that was made by Matthew Curtis, and everyone who made submissions watched this virtual conductor and sang at the same time so that I could sync all of the videos then, and we'd be all singing together as we're not physically together. The person putting together all the videos had to have the help of this syncing virtual conductor. And submissions came in from 6 different countries. We had submissions from the majority from the United States, and Germany, Poland, Hong Kong, China, and Japan, but also in the war zone of Syria. And this I found the most profound and most important because the girl who submitted her video in from Syria is living in Damascus, where there's only 2 hours of electricity a day at best. But she found this an opportunity to reach out to places and to people that she would probably not have an opportunity to otherwise while living in this war zone. So I want to show you some of the submissions. First of all, I'm very, very excited and proud to say that my hometown high school choir, Dawson, Minnesota, there you are, they are represented in the virtual choir. And this is Cho Ki Wong from Hong Kong, if you could play. This is Aaron Newell from Boston, Massachusetts.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
We also have Kayleen from Germany. not only is this choir, international, it's also intergenerational. So there was no age limit. We had some young submissions, if you could play that. That's Louise from La Crosse, Wisconsin. And we had some more mature submissions. This is Jim from Iowa.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Okay, great. He has great energy. I love his smile. It's so perfect. One thing I didn't say that I would do for next time in the instructions is to smile. This is a happy song. Many people are looking at their music. So I was very, very pleased when I received his smiling submission. Oop. Oh, okay. So we can look at that, or we can look at his smile. That's fine. Okay. So one thing that I need to tell you is that all of these submissions that came in were from personal connections of my personal connections. It was kind of a snowball effect. I let my music department know, they let their friends know, their connections know. I let my friends in Japan and China know, and they let their friends know. And this is kind of how these submissions came in. So I want to ask you the question again. How many of you know of Dawson, Minnesota? Okay, everybody. Okay, great. Okay, so this may seem insignificant now, but now we have this group of people here in Kraków, Poland, who are a little more aware of the world in Minnesota. They know of my hometown and the people that are there. And now we have people in Japan, in China, in Syria, in Kraków, in Poznań, who are all a little bit more aware of other people in the world and are connecting in ways that they wouldn't have been able to before. And this is because I don't want to take all this credit here, but I took initiative and wanted to create some avenues between these people. And now, not only are they connected through me, but now they're connected through each other. And now my hometown of Dawson, Minnesota, has a little bit more connection with Kraków, Poland. And I can tell you there's a lot of them, hey mom, watching today this TEDx talk. So they're a little bit more aware now of Kraków and all of you wonderful people here. And I just want to inspire you. You know, this kind of international connection is not something that's limited to music. You know, you can be this connection in whatever gifts or talents that you have. I just watched a TEDx Sydney talk where a man is using skateboarding to empower and connect young girls in Afghanistan. And it doesn't have to be a huge project like a virtual choir or anything huge. It can just be something as simple as taking one friend from one cultural group and having coffee with another friend from another cultural group. And I think that working together with a little bit of effort, a little bit of creativity and some passion and some fun involved, I think that we can transform our more limited, closed awareness of the world into a heart-beating, living, breathing awareness of the world. And I think that we can become this connected group of people all around the world. So I challenge you, as you're watching the premiere of the virtual choir today, to think about what gifts you have, what talents you have, passions that you have, and what networks that you already have in your lives. What different groups? Do you have maybe some connections with some elderly people and some kids? Maybe find a project that you can use your gifts and talents to bring them together. Do you know of a high school in Peru? Do you have someone that you know volunteering somewhere far away? Have you been somewhere? Can you give a presentation about somewhere you've been to your business, your local high school? I really think that we can use the connections that we already have to bring other people closer together and to bring our awareness more living and breathing. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to premiere the United International Virtual Choir singing Alleluia by Dr. Mary Ellen.
Hallelujah.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Okay, so now go out into the world and let's humanize our awareness of the map. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.